Athena is a young company. It's energetic. It has a vision, and I said it earlier in my chat with you that it gets education, and I think that's the most important thing. And as long as that remains, we will see ourselves working for many years to come with Athena. So we've had a project in the school here in Castleknock Community College for the last 10 years where we were tracking students and doing our own academic profiling. And it was very successful, a little tedious, and we just didn't have the software to bring that to the next level. So we went out looking for a company that might support the project that we have, and absolutely we found Athena to dovetail in with the work that we're doing here in the school, which allows us to bring the entire tracking in the college to the next level. So for those reasons, we've found this to be absolutely beneficial. We started with our training there about a year ago, and I took one of the colleagues along, and she became an advocate for it. In fact, the colleague I took along perhaps wasn't the person who was most savvy around IT, and saw all the benefits immediately. And I think it's not only is it the visual side of it, which makes it very easy to follow, but also you can navigate, very intuitive, so any teacher can tune in very quickly to it and work their way around it. So definitely, and you know, the great thing too is we've recommended enhancements to the project, and they've come on very, very quickly. But even from the time we engaged first with Athena to what the package is now, it's certainly growing from strength to strength. I've close on 1,200 students here, and the danger is in a school that size that you will lose students. And while there are plenty of supports here and very strong pastoral supports, it doesn't necessarily capture the academic journey that they're making through. And looking at where they engage with us in first year, and very often around second year, as we all know, third year, they begin to move a little bit away from the academia that can happen. And a program like this allows us to profile and see where students are probably not reaching the potential that we believe that they have. So very, very beneficial for, not just for a school of this size, but for all schools, because it plays the strengths of any school. Okay, I have to say, working with Athena has been absolutely fantastic. They are hugely supported. We work with many companies, but there are a few companies that understand education. And I think that's the difference between Athena and other bodies, and even bodies that support schools like ours. But Athena get it when it comes to education, they get it when it comes to profiling of students, and they listen. And when you make a recommendation, they say, let us think about that, and before you know it, they're working on it. And I find that they're there to support schools and to build on a program. And it is a collaborative relationship that we have with Athena. But absolutely, I found them one of very few companies around at the moment who, as I say, understand how schools work in the 21st century. We're working off Excel sheets, and we're trying to pull stuff in from other software. This pulls it all in one go. But it also too, whereas that was coming through our office, it now means it's empowering teachers, that they're part of the process, that they see where the students are, what they're achieving, and how they can enable them and have those conversations to bring them up to the next level. And that's part of the culture of the school. So you can see where someone like Athena is working very closely with that and supporting that particular culture. But I found that to be perhaps one of the best things that came out of our connection with Athena, was that teachers themselves were empowered. We continue to work with Athena going forward. We're looking at other initiatives around it, particularly engaging the student voice in all of this. One of the things we're able to do through tracking meetings is show them the visual on the screen of saying, look, the green shows the improvements, the ambers are where you need to perhaps put a little bit more effort in. How students might play a part in that in the future would be something we'd love to work with Athena on. We often thought about students setting their own targets and how that would speak to, so that they become owners of their own targets, and you're empowering them. But in the journey and the last 12 months, the work has certainly reduced my workload in so many ways, It has made it easier to get connecting with students rather than having to dig out the data. Very often we hear the phrase data rich, information poor. We get the data and now we can build on this information. So a lot of the work that has been taken off my desk allows me to engage more with the students and with the pastoral supports in the school.